So on January 1st, 1995, you released Turntable Scientifics,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
What was the mindset and creative process like for making this?
So the tape skills techniques had already come out. You know, me and Skip's first tape, and then we were both going to do a solo tape, and this is a good time to illustrate general stupidity that used to exist in general music. Here, I can only speak for Cincinnati, but I feel like Midwest in general, we didn't, you would go to like stores to buy music, to buy books about the music business. They was all lies. Understand? Like music for dummies, shit like that. But like how to break in the music industry. And we didn't have any frame of reference, so we had to read these books. So we thought everything was illegal. So I had traded Dabu tape skills techniques for beyond comprehension. Yeah. And when I listened to it, there was all these Pulp Fiction samples in there and shit. And when we were on the phone talking about it, I'm like, how do you get away with using Pulp Fiction on this tape? Because in my mind, this is illegal. You're gonna get sued.
It's copyrighted.
Yeah, and he said something like, how many fucking tapes you think you're gonna sell? I'm like, I don't know, a couple thousand. He's like, well, forget it, they're not paying any attention to mixtapes. And they weren't dead. He's like, you using a sample from a record, it cost them more to fucking find you than it would, they wouldn't make any money. And I'm like, huh? He's like, are you telling me? Babu goes, are you telling me that you don't use things like that because you don't want to get sued? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, basically the way I would say it now, like, it's like, the government's coming to get you. And I'm like, good. You think you're specifically so special that they want to come and fuck with you and you just live next door and talk shit online. Same thing. I thought I was so special. They were going to come and get me for sampling Pulp Fiction. And he's like, they're not going to do shit. So that's where it starts. I'm like, well, fuck it then. I'm going to use everything I can think of. Fuck it. Like, no holds barred. I'll go back to absolutely no rules like the wizard, like Jeff Mills. And that's what I did. And I just started working on it. I delivered pizzas in. So I would work at La Rosa's. I would go home and work on Turntable Scientifics. And it took like a year and a half. And then every night after work, I would have what I did the day before. And I had a friend named John Hitch. And we would go to the Walmart parking lot. And I would sit there and play from, minute one to wherever I was at. So that dude had to hear it every night that we worked together for a year and a half. So not only did he hear the whole thing, he heard it in all its parts 1,000 times. Like, you're going to play the whole thing? Yeah, motherfucker. How much new shit is there? 10 seconds. So you'd have to listen to 30 minutes of it to get the 5 new seconds. And I did it to him every night. And then when I finished it, he didn't want a copy. He wouldn't take a copy.
I lived it. I lived it basically, right?
And he did. And then I finished it. And then I had never heard anything like it outside of like what I'm referencing, like Rhodium Swap Me, Dre tapes, Jeff Mills, Mixmaster Quick, shit like that. I thought I was doing a job going forward, like carrying the torch for where they came from. And then got the artwork done and it came out. And then I was like, oh shit. Like you think you did good. You don't know you did that when everybody is barking at you about how incredible it is. And you're like, me? Yeah, motherfucker. I'm like, really? Like, cats still hit me up. You got it on vinyl? No. I'll have a tape on CVLE. Shit, I still have the cover. But it was a year and a half of just every day. That's all I did. Deliver pizzas, work on that shit.
How did you come up with the idea of how to format it to be the way it is? Because it's only 2 songs, right? Aneurysms and Hypothalamus, and it's 30 minutes each. So how did you come up with that?
Like the continuous thing?
Yeah. Like to think like, I want it to be this specific length or this is complete in my eyes.
So the idea of it being continuous is from the Bomb Squad.
Mhm.
So there is it's either Rolling Stone or Spin, and I can never track it down. And I remember reading it at a friend's apartment at Ohio State. They were in college, and I was like, there's Bomb Squad shit in here. And I read it, and it's Hanker Keith Shockley describing it takes a nation of millions to hold us back, and he's like, no pauses. And they're asking him, how come no pauses? He's like, because if you put a pause in there, man, it's a chance for somebody to like turn it off or skip a song. Like you don't let them off the hook. You just keep pounding them in the fucking head. And so I remember reading that, and it's also the same article where where organized noise got their name, because he said one of the Shockley says music is organized noise, and then years later you have organized noise. So I read that, and then I went back to the Rhodium Swap Meet tapes, Stone Brothers tapes, Quick tapes, Jeff Mills, The Wizard tapes, and they did the same thing. It was continuous. And they did where, like, when the tape ended, they kept going and the tape flipped over and it just picked back up. There was never a reason to have a pause, no matter what you were doing. So I carried that over forever. There's only one, like, the 30th song has pauses, because I was, like, trying to make an album. But then I did that, and then I'm like, yeah, if I'm never doing another one with pauses. So even now, there's no pauses.
Right.
Okay? There's no reason to. I can't really put into words how that works. I just know when it works. Trust me, there's plenty of times I'm like, delete these 5 minutes because that shit didn't work coming off of that. You can just tell when it works, it works. There's definitely, it's not a thing that I could sit down and show someone like, here's how you do this. I don't know how to explain how I know how to do it. I could go back to learning how to scratch on the volume knob to anything that was on the TV. That's as close as I can come to, because that was anything.
Do you visualize it like in a puzzle kind of setting, like of like if you were
when it's funny you should mention that, the visualized part. I didn't know this, but so we were watching the Pharrell LEGO documentary. You ever seen that? Yeah, and my wife wanted to watch it. She's like, go watch this. It's good. I heard it. And we're watching it.
You have synesthesia.
Yeah. And I thought that she was showing me that part to like fuck with me. And I'm watching him talk about it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, are you fucking with me about that? And she's like, what am I? Well, that's how you listen. That's how you see music. That's how you hear it. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, this is how everybody hears it. And she's like, no. I'm like, yeah, he just said it. So are you're doing that to fuck with me? She's like, no. She's like, I'm showing you that you're not like the odd man out. He does too. And I'm like, don't you? She's like, no. I'm like, oh, I thought everybody heard and saw music like that. So when the colors don't match, then it doesn't work. So when the colors match when you're hearing it, that's how you know it goes together. That's how the transition works. So when it looks right, it's right. When it looks wrong, you know you fucked up. And then years later, be like, that one little part, God damn it, that part's fucking the wrong color.
It bothers you forever.
Right. Yes, and because you can see it, and you're like, that fucking thing right there. Yeah. So I didn't know that was an actual thing. I thought that you had that. I had that. Everybody had that. I didn't know that was like an unusual thing.
You know, it makes sense though when you describe it like that, because that's why you made your friend listen to the whole 30 minutes to hear the new 5 seconds though.
Yeah. You're gonna hear the whole fucking thing. Why? I don't know. But I thought, in my mind, he's seeing it the way I'm seeing it, and it's all, see how it goes together. And he's just sitting there like 5 fucking seconds. I had to listen to 40 minutes to hear the new 5 seconds. Yeah. Then you like the way it ended? Fuck you. I'm going home, man. Shit. Plus, we both didn't live near Walmart. So we would drive 2 miles, and he had to drive 10 miles home, and I had to drive a mile back. So, yeah.
That's hilarious, man.